man embedded dollar bills, making cash, I get the chills. Pick it up, watch it rise. Stop barking dreams in my eyes. Welcome to Banana Bread Trades.
Welcome everyone to Banana Bread Trades. My name is Goose and welcome back to another episode of Recap and Trade Plan. And today was kind of boring. Just like yesterday, absolutely nothing happened until midway to the end of the day. And luckily, again, we were sitting at our computer, of course, as I always do, because I never leave. And we were able to get a trade towards the end of the day. But man, it was definitely a tougher day. Like, there was a lot of movement, and it's been this way with NQ the last 2 days, where we've had a lot of movement and really just no actual valuable levels being taken until later today. We finally got our level at 2470 get wicked, and I mean, it just got wicked barely to the tick, and we were able to get long because we were kind of extended on the Keltner channel. It wasn't a great extension, but it was extended enough. Price kind of stopped enough to where we decided to get long, and we got long, and we just took a base hit. I think we got 25 on our core and then 50 on our runner, and that was it on the play. I didn't try holding for like a swing play or anything. Just with the way the market has been, this kind of range that we've developed, I went ahead and just took my base hit and got out. And I kind of regretted that later towards the day, but in the moment I was like, this is definitely the right decision. And all we can think about is our in the moment decisions. And in the moment, I was very happy with my decision because it ended up chopping around for kind of the rest of the day until kind of the end of the day. We caught this little bit of a turbo bid. But yeah, nothing on ES. ES just turbo pumped. I mean, we consolidated super hard, put in a lot of volume up here at the all-time high. It was really scary. We had this wick here, a little short of all-time high, and I was like, we could get a liquidity grab like we saw last Thursday. But that did not happen. We stayed there, we built volume, and then we pushed and made like a kind of a pitiful little attempt just to take all-time high by a couple ticks. But nonetheless, we took all-time high again. Now here we are in Globex, building volume right below all-time high, so we'll kind of see if we're kind of gearing up for a leg up tomorrow, or maybe some more consolidations, or possibly a sell-off. My bias really is pretty neutral. The one big thing we're going to be looking for tomorrow on ES is going to be this, basically today's POC at about 5690. It's about basically 5700 is where that POC is at, and that's what we're going to be wanting to look for. We were going to want that to hold tomorrow. It's going to be very important that volume stays above, that 5,700 level and builds above that to show that, we're finding acceptance higher. Volume is wanting to build higher. That's kind of what we look at in these trends is, are we actually building volume higher? You see these POCs consistently move higher. As long as those are moving higher, we are in a bullish scenario. And I realize it's kind of hindsight when you look at it at the end of the day, but that's something you can kind of, take note of is, hey, we're continuing to build acceptance higher. We are still in a bullish trend, regardless of what your opinion may be. Volume on the day was built higher. So that's something that we're looking at for tomorrow on ES, is just for volume to continue to build higher. And for this prior day POC at 5,700 to hold. After that, we have a pretty big gap all the way down to basically 5,650. And that's something that we're going to have to kind of keep an eye out for. I mean, that's the level relative to NQ. That's the level that got tested today, and that got taken out today. ES has not had that much of a pullback. So it's kind of interesting to see the discrepancy between the two. Obviously, tech is just a little bit more on the weak side than the rest of the market. As you see, ES is still on a pretty violent uptrend. So yeah, I mean, there's just no reason to really be extremely bearish until we lose. I mean, the first sign of bearishness is going to be losing 5,700, and then the next sign of bearishness would be 5650 not holding. But honestly, that 5650 level would be a great area for a long, and then under that, I mean, it's another huge jump till we get down to some of these more important levels down here. But we got a long ways to get there on ES, and honestly, if I'm not really planning any shorts right now on ES, It's more just continuation long until we start breaking some of these levels. And we'll also have the Keltner channel on our side as well to decide if we do want to take any longs, even though longing at all-time high is pretty risky. Moving over to NQ, we have an absolutely terrible, massive range here. We took out this 2470 level, and with that, I mean, we took out that level and then we didn't go anywhere. We just went right back to the balance. So for tomorrow, I mean, the range market just continues, right? We're just going to continue playing this as a range. You know, looking for longs towards the bottom of the range, shorts towards the top of the range. But honestly, as far as actual, you know, well-weighted A+ setups, we have a long way in either direction before we can even really consider, you know, taking more than just a scalp play. And that's going to be down there all the way at 2327-ish, 2330-ish. That's where those singles are down there. And then all the way up at about 2823. That's going to be our upper side of what has now become a really, really large range. Like I said, as far as any big A+ setups go, we're going to have to test one of those before we can start considering, you know, taking a well-weighted, you know, longer term play. Other than that, it's strictly going to be down to basically PA scalps and intraday moves, watching initial balance, opening range, those types of things, keeping in mind the Keltner channels to make sure we're not longing tops or selling bottoms. That's going to be very important in these range market conditions, and where the Keltner channels really, really come into play and are really handy, because they just kind of keep you on the right side of the market when we're in a rangy condition like we are here. So that's what I'm going to be looking for tomorrow in NQ. Let's hop over and talk about the trades that I took today. So going back on that, last night I took I set some limits at about 55.80, 55.60. And overnight when I was looking at those, or before the night, I guess, when I was looking at those levels, that was that Monday POC area. And I was looking at as we were going to bed there that night, I was like, you know, if we push the Keltner channels really hard one way or the other, you know, I didn't expect those levels to actually get hit until, you know, RTH, but they did overnight. We had a pretty gnarly sell overnight, and both of my limits ended up getting filled, and they were also pushes of the Keltner channel. That's what I was kind of looking for, is like, hey, if I wanted to take a long overnight, where would they be? That's where they were. Would those kind of be towards the bottom of the range? They would be, and both of those limits ended up getting filled. I just had, you know, the take profits at about 25 points. And then this last one here, I did leave room for a runner, and that runner actually ended up just getting break even because we sold off. As soon as RTH opened, we got a little bit of a little poot long there, and then it came right back down, killed our last runner break even. But either way, it was a nice little trade there, but it was very, very light leverage. Like I said, we had like maybe 2 MNQ here, 2 MNQ there, and then our last 1 MNQ got break even. So that was our overnight trade. There really wasn't too much to it. And like I said, I was very, very light leverage on that trade. Coming into RTH, again, we didn't do anything pretty much all day. We did have a pretty aggressive push of the Keltner channel here. And I actually attempted a long here on our TradeEvade account. And that's something that we'll talk about here in a second too, is the TradeEvade account. And I actually attempted a long here. And I was able to get a little bit of profit on my second attempt here. First attempt here actually ended up getting break even. As you can see, we started to go up, came back down, grabbed my break even. I longed again with 2 contracts, 2 MNQ, took profit pretty quick on the first one. Excuse me. And then got profit on the second one. Wasn't a full profit though, so it was a smaller play there. But I mean, in this situation, we're not really looking for a longer term hold because, like I said, we weren't wicking that important 2470 level that I wanted. We were actually front running a little bit. We ended up coming down. We wicked 2470, which was this singles level here that we talked about yesterday. Came down, wicked it. I got long, and again got out for a decent profit there. And I'll show those trades here in a second. I took those both on my Apex accounts and our small TradeEvade account, and I'll go ahead and show my TradeEvade account as well. Let's hop over to Discord here. As you guys know, I always post my trade plans and my trades in Discord, what I'm doing, what I'm thinking about. So if you scroll down in our Discord here, scroll down to the accountability section, then go to my profile here. You can scroll. Grumpy asked me a question here. I will get to that here in a second. But if you scroll up, you'll see the trade plan that we had lined up for that night. You know, we're talking about our levels, and you can see here our 2470 level that we were talking about and how we wanted to possibly play these levels as long as we're extended on the Keltner channels. And coming down into here, that is me right there for sure. I am a frog. And then come down here, and then we talk about this play here. We were kind of pushing the bottom of the Keltner channel, but not poking it like I would really like. But we did clean out that singles area, so that made for a great long. Here's the long that we caught on the Apex account. We were able to get long just a little bit above 470 after we saw that it held here, and then, you know, scaled out along the way. And then also on our TradeAvate account, but to make sure I'm not being a scammy person, here's our TradeAvate account here. Let's go ahead and click on this, go to today, and here's our report once again from today. Like I said, the first one was break even, ended up catching a small long, then caught that last long there. Ended up being plus about $240 on the day after commissions and everything. And that finally brings our account over 2K. We've actually seen over 2K, probably like this is the third time now seeing plus 2K on this account, but our first time actually closing above it. We were really close last week and then didn't take profit. And then we got liquidated because we tried to hold overnight and then realized we didn't have the margin to. And that margin called auto liquidation feature is a $50 fee, and that put us back under 2K. And then we took a loss on Thursday. You know, we tried to long our levels as, you know, things were starting to sell off, and we were actually in profit there again. We were above 2K, and then it sold off really hard and then actually ended up taking us out for a loss. So now we're finally back above 2K. We're here. We made it. And I mean, it's not like it's that much. We've only made $530, right? After 3 trade attempts here, 3 or 4 trade attempts. But we're building our account slowly, right? We're up 33% on this account, and we need another 1,000 to go before we double this account, and I can, you know, take our original investment out, and then everything else is just house money. That's the goal here. So got 1,000 more dollars to go. We'll keep grinding, but nice to have a winning day on that one and make up for our loss that we took on Thursday. So that's all we have here as far as trades goes. So we just went over our trade plan. And like I said, it's probably going to be, like I said, I'm not looking really like we're going to get a lot of trades tomorrow. I don't know what I just did there. Oh, there we go. Not looking like there's going to be a lot of trade opportunity tomorrow. Oh, and there's one other thing. One last, like, super important thing. I can't believe I almost forgot this. Our corn trade. Our corn trade is still alive. It's been a rough 2 days. Like I said, we got that pump, we sold off, and then, you know, we based out, pumping again. Again, I'm trading the next contract. I'm not trading current contract, just because I think I might end up holding this one longer than the current contract stays from getting expired. And I don't want to hold through expiration on. Obviously, I don't need that much corn, but our corn long is still good. Under 400, obviously we get stopped out, but we're back at 411 on corn. We haven't broken below 400. So corn long still alive, basing out here, and we need to base out here a little bit longer, build some volume, and then maybe we can, you know, make a push up. Like I said, we want 450 as our final target, but 430 probably would be a good place to maybe start trailing or take profit as well. We'll see how things go, but 450 being that kind of final target there, which is a ways. I mean, 450 is ways, but this is a swing trade. And like I said, if we want to base out here for a little bit longer, I don't want to hold through expiration. So yes, corn still alive, still doing good. Come on, corn. We're rooting for you. Just got to hold 400 here. But if not, like I said, if we take another dip down, we just got a better opportunity to long a little bit later here. But corn will definitely be a great long swing trade. It's just about, you know, waiting for these base out moments to happen and then catching it, because this could definitely happen again after this 400 level. We want to base, try to spike up, and then sell off real hard. I mean, I could see us doing that down to 350 for sure. But once we start getting under 350, I mean, we get into deep, long territory under 350, like start really throwing money at this thing under 350. So we'll be watching this for sure. Going to keep this long alive and see if we can't get 450 there. But that's all we got for today. Like I said, ES has got to support that prior day POC at 5,700. Could get a little bit choppy tomorrow. I mean, that's just how these all-time high moves work. And then under 5,700, we'll be looking for 5,650. But only if, like I said, we're only going to be taking these trades if extended on the Celts, especially in this market condition that we're in right now on ES and NQ both. I realize they're both different current market conditions for each of them, but for both of those, we definitely want to be taking the best risk reward opportunities that we can. We do not want to get caught chopped up in the middle or longing the highs and shorting the lows in these conditions. So if that means no trades tomorrow, that is completely okay. We'll be patient and we'll wait, because there will be another good setup, and we don't need to trade every day to make an awesome salary. So that's all I got for tonight. Sorry I went a little bit long, but had a lot to go over today. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the Discord. Any suggestions, hit them in the comments box. Please leave a fire react, and we will see you guys tomorrow.